Okay, hello everybody. We have another game with the black pieces against I don't know, new Tathotep. Rated 1600, D4 and C4. We're going to get another Nimzo Indian on the board. He plays knight C3, controlling the center. We play bishop E4, pinning the knight, preventing E4 with a crazy pawn center. He goes queen B3, hitting the bishop. I'm pretty sure this is not one of the best moves. I think it's one of the inaccurate tries by white. We're going to go A5, defend the bishop, create space for our rook, gain space on the queen side. He pushes A4. Now this means he can never kick our bishop, so this is a crazy positional move, right? Because now our bishop is cemented here with A5 supporting it, so I don't understand this move at all. It's a little confusing, but okay. So I'm just going to castle because it's the most logical normal move, and I'll figure out what to do after. I mean, okay, so he breaks the pin with bishop d2. I guess he wasn't feeling comfortable. That's fine. He still can't play e4 because we can take the knight and then the pawn. We do want to develop. I think we're just going to go simple b6 just to get our light square bishop out. It will control lots of squares on that diagonal and be quite powerful. So it's an option. White goes e3, opening up the bishop's diagonal. But he goes e3, which means he's not going g3, which means he won't be contesting with a fianchetto. So let's continue with our plan and go bishop b7, developing a piece, controlling the center. And now he can't develop naturally because of laying a rook. So he has to start with, let's say, knight f3. How are these guys 1600? It's insane. Knights before bishops. Knights before bishops. How many times do people need to say the same thing? Oh my god. And instead of showing you a positional Nimzo Indian game, I'm just going to take the rook. Not my fault. I can't help it. He's hanging stuff. I have to take it. I'm morally obliged. Okay, he played the bishop here so that he can get the center. But even here, I could take the knight and then take the pawn. So it still wouldn't work, but I'm not going to do that because I want the rook, of course. If I take the rook, he's going to probably push. But I'll figure that out later. I think I'll just take the knight. If he takes my knight, I get a second piece. And if he takes my bishop, then I can jump my knight in the center. I could also jump my knight forward to the side or backwards, if I'm being fair. I could also, wait, can I? No. So what was I calculating? This. Oh yeah, that's fine, but I said if he takes the bishop back some way or another. So here, my knight's under attack. If I did jump it in the center, it would be hitting either the bishop or whatever's on this square. If you long castles, you get this pawn. You always have f5, so I don't think you'll ever hang the knight. So let's go for that. And yeah, okay, so he takes with the pawn. So now, I don't really want to. I'm up a rook, so knight e8 is completely winning. Any move is completely winning. I'm just trying to be a little more accurate. This hits the bishop, so I automatically evacuate the knight with the bishop unless he moves the bishop. So if he moves the bishop to try to say, hey, your knight's trapped, I still have things like f5 or d5. So let's do this. I think my bishop in the corner is safe, so I'm not worried about the rook pressure at some point. Okay, so he does move it. I'm pressuring these two pawns. Now I do want to play d5 or f5 and really fix the situation completely, consolidate. I think f5 is the appropriate one, opening the rook towards the king, as opposed to trying to contest this giant pawn mass. So let's go with f5, which is thematic in the Nimzo Indian anyway, with the bishop on this diagonal and the knight going here. He doesn't in passant, which gives me further space on the king side, which is nice. Instead, he goes f3, trying to kick the knight away. The drawback of this move is that it opens up a severe diagonal towards his king, one that he cannot protect with the bishop because it hangs. So we're going to get in free development, right, with threats for free on the king. It looks really bad for him. So he moves his king up. Just immediately walks into a check with materials. Let's do that. Again, he cannot block. He has to move his king to the back rank, which looks terrible. Now we have 3 pieces. It's possible we have made some type of really good moves here. Let's look for them. This with either the bishop or the queen. I'm inclined to do the bishop so we can use the queen for the dark diagonal. So let's say bishop check. Now if he goes here, we always have discoveries. So let's say bishop check and assume he goes here. Wait, well, we have this. This check goes here. Does this do anything? No. This check would win the queen if the bishop wasn't there. If the bishop takes, we need another piece. Now there's got to be something. Hold on. Check here. None of the knight jumps doing anything. So this check has to be, and then here. And then what's the move? We got, let's say this check. He can't block with the bishop. If he goes here, we get to take free stuff. Okay, so let's do that. At the very least, you get to take more stuff and continue the attack with check. So this looks like a decent sequence. So he does go there. The knight's not hanging because of the bishop. I was looking at ways to deflect it, like, you know, before he would have to move it, but actually maybe that worked. Check. He would have had to take it, then check here, then you can take the knight. Yeah, maybe that worked last turn, but anyway, we're here, so let's give him this check. He's going to run probably here. This is a square, but I don't know about that one. It does protect the pawn, though. He goes here, but that hangs a piece, so that was dumb. Then he goes to the side. He says good game, we say good game. He said he's out of practice. Yes, yes sir, he hung a rook. But still a good game. So we play a knight towards the center. He plays the queen's gambit, pawn pushes. You have lots of options here. c5, d5, you know, e6, g6. And we get away with a 99% game, not even an inaccuracy this time. Our first 0 inaccuracy game on any of the speedruns that I was going to say went up to 20 moves, but this was only 18. Oh well. So we get e6 in, Nimzo Indian. He develops a knight. The Nimzo is characterized by this setup here. And queen c2 is the one of the theoretical moves. Queen b3. I know that's not accurate. I don't know what the exact refutation or best moves are, but so anyway, we support the bishop. And he plays a4, and I think this is just a strategic mistake because now the bishop is on an outpost, and you always want to play a3 and kick it. So So basically this guy doesn't understand what the Nimzo Indian opening is even about if you're going to play a move like this. The whole point of the bishop here is to, for as long as possible, prevent him from taking both the whole pawn center with e4. That's why you kick the bishop or force it to do something. You don't leave it here the entire game. So we king safety. And now b6 because, yeah, you can develop the knight, right? Let's say he protects what he did in the game. Your knight is like it's nice that you developed a piece, but you still have to improve it. And it's only controlling, you know, some squares, doesn't really matter. But a bishop here is just going to be way more powerful than my knight. And so I'm prioritizing this bishop. So that's why I put it here. And then, like I said, he has to develop his knight to stop this threat. And you play a normal game, but he immediately blunders and it's -5. We take the rook, and then we calculate a sequence of moves. That apparently is completely accurate, not even better moves, so awesome. If he takes here, you get a second piece with check, so he doesn't win anything. That's why it doesn't work. And now we remove the defender of the knight. So forced move, because we were under attack. And I'm happy that f5 was also the correct move. You know, trying to get him to en passant, and if he does, you can either get rid of the, you know, fix the knight, or just develop a new piece aiming right at the king, such as queen f6. That looks devastating as well. He plays f3, and which is a definite mistake because it allows me to just win the game with the queen now, and it's -7.5. So we did not do anything crazy. We just created this little structure. We put our knight in the center, supported by the bishop. Usually the bishop is here supporting the knight and the pawn supporting the knight, but our bishop somehow got to the other side, which is unusual. But this should show you some ideas behind the Nimzo Indian, the structures you're looking for, and how relatively easy it can be to play. So give it a shot. Submit your rapid games in Discord. Link in description. Good luck. Goodbye.